Hello everybody, I'm Brian Cameron, Farm and X Marketing Manager for the Americas region, and I am here today with Joe Chang, our Chief Scientific Officer. It is wonderful to have you here today, Joe.
It's great, Brian. It's so wonderful to be able to talk to everybody on this Facebook Live. I'm getting nervous, Brian. What do you think? Let's do it and see what happens, huh?
I love it, I love it. Facebook Live is excellent, and today we're utilizing Facebook Live to talk about one of my favorite products, and I say that every time, but this one really is such a great product because I've been able to spend so much time with it and learn so much about it. But today we're going to pick Joe's brain about ageLOC Youth. Now, at the end of this Facebook Live, we're also going to be talking about an ageLOC Youth promotion we're doing for Cyber Monday, so make sure to pay attention and watch to the very end and stick around with us because there's going to be some really great information at the end. And if you have any questions about ageLOC Youth as we're talking with Joe, make sure to put them in the comment section below, and we'll see if we can get to a few of those if we have some time. Otherwise, we'll try and get those answered after the fact in the comment area as well. But first, so speaking ageLOC Youth today, the first question, I think there's a good logical story we can tell with ageLOC Youth that will really help our consumers or our distributors talk to our consumers about ageLOC Youth and why it's important. And I think that begins with aging defense mechanisms and aging aggressors. So can you tell us a little bit about that, Joe?
Sure. Well, Brian, you know, when we started on this journey looking at how we can develop products to help people to keep young and stay young, and this is for all ages, it's not really something just for old people, as I've been hearing a little bit. So fundamentally, when we talk about aging aggressors, what our scientists really mean is the fact that every day we're exposed to all kinds of really negative factors impacting our bodies. And for example, I think everybody recognizes the fact that, for example, an aging aggressor like pollution. We are faced with that every day. And the lifestyle habits, you know, whether it's smoking or whether sleeping late, these are all collectively, we like to call them aging aggressors. In other words, they aggressively attacks the aging process and in fact really accelerates the process in the body. And we're trying to build a shield against these kinds of aggressors, and I think we are doing it very well based on our recent scientific studies with ageLOC Youth. Youth provides an incredibly effective shield against these aging aggressors.
Thank you, thank you. So these aging aggressors, you know, as we've spoke, you know, offline, we've talked about aging defense mechanisms and how they, you know, they effectively reduce our aging defense mechanisms, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about our aging defense mechanisms, you know, why they're important, and, you know, one that you would potentially like to highlight?
Yep. Well, when we think of our body, the fundamental discovery that we have, and not just us or our scientists discovered that, but throughout the scientific community, we're beginning to realize and recognize the reality that the body in and of itself is able to defend against aging. In other words, it has evolved and it has adapted itself and developed several mechanisms that can actually collectively together make up a shield that can prevent the aging process from getting out of control in the body. So these mechanisms are many and several, and fundamentally for us, we had been focusing on the 6 major aging defense mechanisms. So our studies would show that if you can somehow either preserve or enhance these 6 major aging defense mechanisms, we have a fairly good chance of keeping the body to stay young and to keep it young. For example, Brian, you know, when we talk about an aging defense mechanism, I think most everybody listening in or watching this particular Facebook would appreciate the fact that the immune system is a very important mechanism in the body. In fact, that's an aging defense mechanism. You know, you can see all of us can appreciate the fact that if our immune system is not strong and healthy, we have a negative impact on the aging process. And ageLOC Youth has a very profound effect on protecting and preserving the immune system. That is a fundamental aging defense mechanism and sort of control how we age. Another good example is something to do with tissue damage. how we can actually help the tissue to repair itself. That would be a tissue renewal mechanism, an aging defense mechanism that is equally and positively impacted by a product such as ageLOC Youth.
That's really, really great information, Joe. One thing that I've been told, and that, in speaking with our research scientists, is that what we're doing is we're affecting every cell in the body because these aging defense mechanisms are in the genes, and those genes are in every cell. Is that accurate?
Absolutely, Brian, because I think, we now know that the body is essentially, for all intents and purposes, is regulated and controlled by these so-called genes. We have roughly around 23,000 genes in our body, and in fact, these 23,000 genes are found in practically every cell type in our body, whether it's a heart cell, whether it's a skin cell, whether it's a brain cell. We are able to look at these genes and how they function and how they behave and be able to regulate the aging process. So, I mean, the aging defense mechanisms, for example, they are all entirely regulated and controlled by the certain types of genes. And we've been studying that together with some of our collaborators at LifeGen.
That's a great segue into the next question. And some of these questions have been frequently asked by the field. So a lot of these questions are some questions you may be asked by your customers and by other people that really, really want to know some in-depth knowledge about this product. So LifeGen Technologies, they have been a huge player with us, and we've had a lot of research and information come from them. Can you spend a minute and tell us a little bit about how LifeGen and Nu Skin have developed ageLOC Youth and kind of what research went in with that?
Sure. Yeah. We started our collaboration initially as just a partner with LifeGen, and then in 2011, as we began to realize how important the contributions are coming from LifeGen.
Hey, Joe, can I interrupt you for just a second?
Yep.
We just got to talk.
Okay.
I was doing. Someone just commented that the volume was low, so we're going to do better, and
Good.
we're going to have the mic close.
All right. We have a directional mic here. Apologies for that. So hopefully everybody can hear me now. So I sound like a Verizon guy. So anyway, so back to LifeGen. So we realized in 2011 what they have created and what they have understood about the aging process or the genetic basis of the aging process. We decided that we should acquire this company called LifeGen, and we bought it in 2011. So all the knowledge that they have about aging is now exclusive and is only accessible by the Nu Skin scientists. What they brought to the table and what we continue to use is this incredible database of genetic knowledge. Not just general genetic knowledge, but specific genetic knowledge that is related to aging. So with that, we are beginning to understand and in fact identify the specific types of genes or the specific groups of genes that are relevant in aging. So with that, we can hone in on those particular genes and see what sort of natural ingredients are in our library that we can sort of evaluate, test it, and screen it against these particular types of genes and see whether they have a positive impact. So this database is exclusive and proprietary to the Nu Skin scientists, and that is really the importance of LifeGen. We continue. In fact, every study that we had conducted with LifeGen and will conduct in the future, it brings new knowledge and adds to the database. So that's a very dynamic information that we have, and we continue to learn more and more about aging and using that knowledge to apply to future products.
I can only imagine what type of stuff we have in the future here at Pharmanex and Nu Skin, right? So looking at another one of the questions that we get asked a lot, obviously there's so many different people in this world, there's so many different body types, and we have a lot of people using ageLOC Youth and experiencing some tremendous benefits. But for those people out there who haven't had an experience yet with ageLOC Youth, what should they look forward to? I guess, why is ageLOC Youth important to their body? And, what are some of the benefits that they can expect to experience?
Now, The way that we have designed and formulated ageLOC Youth is really based on the fact that each and every one of you is different, and each of you is living literally in a different place. You know, whether it's in the U.S. or whether it's in Latin America or Europe and so on. So the environment has a big, profound effect on how you age. So, and how you feel you're aging, that's the more important question to us. So we know that when you take youth, especially for the new folks who have not taken youth, when you take it, you will feel it. You will feel the benefits. But how you feel it is going to vary from person to person. So a person may feel that he or she may have more energy, and somebody else who may feel that they can sleep better. These are all signs that are showing you that youth is actually working in your body. And some of the other benefits that you may not feel immediately will kick in as you continue to take ageLOC Youth regularly. So that's important. When it's almost like a food product, and that's why when you look at youth, you see we have put in many food types ingredients. It's a blend. It's not a single ingredient product. And this blend is unique, and that's how we use, together with LifeGen, we found that the blend is more powerful as a youth-preserving product than a single ingredient on its own. So the whole, for all intents and purposes, is actually greater than the sum of its parts. That's the power behind youth. And this blend is something that we have patented. This is something that we have protected. And only we know how to put the blend together in the right ratio and in the right amounts.
Yeah, the source of the ingredients and where we get these from is really very important, and we'll speak to that here in just a second. But one thing I do want to add to what Joe said is that the reason why the market is so big for ageLOC Youth is because, as Joe was talking about aging aggressors earlier, there's so many different aging aggressors you can look at, from sunlight to pollution to stress, your genes, things like that. And you can really tell that, you know, everybody in the world is going to undergo one of those aging aggressors in their life, you know, every single day and multiple times a day. And I really think that opens up the market to be huge for ageLOC Youth. So now going back to those ingredients, the ingredient blend that you talk about is so very important. Can you speak to a little bit about the, you know, the library of ingredients that we had to go through and kind of the process of how we chose those ingredients, and, you know, maybe which ingredient out of those might be your favorite?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, Brian. And there's always an interesting story behind each and every one of the ingredients that we use in our products. Because historically, the first thing that we do, our scientists will do, is to research where these ingredients are found in a particular diet in a certain part of the world. So we didn't want to use synthetic chemicals as part of our product development. So all our ingredients are natural, and they come with a history. In other words, this is an ingredient that has been found in the food chain, whether it's in somewhere in the Andes, and that's a hint. I will tell you one of my favorite ingredients in ageLOC Youth. But nonetheless, all these ingredients that we find are part and parcel of the food chain. So it's all the food supply, if you will. So there's always going to be, this ingredient will always be found in some diet, and somebody has been eating it for centuries. So they're entirely safe, and what we have brought to the table to enhance the value of these natural ingredients is the fact that we can now use we can now study them with scientifically. Because of our genetic technology that we call ageLOC, we can see how these ingredients affect the gene expression of genes that are involved in aging. So we know a lot more about these ingredients at the scientific level, but most importantly, they always have originated from some foods that people have been eating. So combining historical knowledge, how they are being eaten or how they have been found in diets, and combining it with our scientific insights into how these ingredients act in the body, that's how we select our ingredients. We have thousands of them. We have collected a natural product library for many years now. So we have literally thousands of these ingredients that we can sort of choose and test them. with our ageLOC technology.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a favorite one?
Yeah.
Oh, now, Joe, do you have a favorite ingredient?
Aha, Brian wants to know what my favorite ingredient is. So over the last 4 years, as we study what are the ingredients we should put into youth, right? And I mean, this is not something that I say, okay, I want this ingredient to work. It's a matter of depending on what type of scientific evidence we get from our studies with these ingredients. And it so happens, it was fascinating for me, that one of the most powerful and potent ingredients in youth is an ingredient called purple corn. This is incredible. I mean, this is not just corn that you eat in the summer. This is a special and unique species of corn that has been in the diets of certain Indians in South America, particularly those Indians that live in high altitude in the Andes. They have been eating this purple corn, and we had it in our library and we tested it. And so happens, it turns out, it was one ingredient that we never expected its effect on the gene expression. It was consistent. It was very, very markedly enhanced when you have purple corn in our testing. So we think that purple corn is my favorite ingredient because all the scientific studies we've done show me that without purple corn, ageLOC Youth really would not have been as powerful as we wanted it to be.
That's really, really cool. So a lot of the questions that we receive, and I guess some of the zeal that we get from some of our distributors are, we love ageLOC Youth so much, and now I don't have to take LifePak. I don't have to take LifePak Nano. I just replaced 7 pills with 2, or 7 capsules with 2. Now, can I have you speak about that for a moment? Because I know that's a big deal for us in the Americas.
Sure, Brian. So, what can I say? LifePak, the way I look at it is, LifePak was my firstborn, right? So there's no way I can discount LifePak to be an important nutritional supplement that everybody should be taking. So now I have given birth, or our scientists together as a team, we have given birth to another incredible product that we call ageLOC Youth. So I think for me to choose, it's like trying to choose between two children that you love dearly. And I don't think you need to. For fundamentally, we design ageLOC Youth in such a way that is absolutely complementary if you are taking LifePak. So those two, 1 + 1, in fact, would be equal to 3. There is synergism between between the taking of LifePak together with the taking of ageLOC Youth. So if you are able and you have access to LifePak and ageLOC Youth, I think it's a perfect combo to take every day on a regular basis.
Thank you, Joe. Some of the comments come in are pretty awesome. Callan right here, Joe looks 36, not 63. I love that.
Thank you.
Joe is the heart of youth here. It's really great. So I actually want to go over our promotional details now. So Cyber Monday, one day only. We're going to have a sale in the U.S. and Canada. So again, remember, just Monday from 8 a.m. to midnight Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be releasing ageLOC Youth for $99. That's in the U.S. and Canada for $119. Now that's over 25% savings off of the ADR price. So you're going to be getting a stellar deal on ageLOC Youth. This is going to help you guys allow other people to really experience it, fall in love with the product, fall in love with the benefits, and potentially move forward with that. So thank you guys for being here with us today. I'm just going to scroll through these questions quick and see if there's anything that we can answer. It didn't look like there was any big questions that came in through, but if you guys have any questions as you watch this video and as you share it with those, make sure to put those questions down in the bottom for us to address. Other than that, thank you guys so much, and we want to thank Joe. Joe has taken some time out of his schedule, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian. And thanks to everybody listening. Hey, this is fun. Let's do it again, okay? And make sure you take ageLOC Youth together with LifePak. There's a powerful combo. Bye for now.
See you guys. Thank you.